Okay, I'll wait.
No, go
No.
ahead.
So when I was doing my research on baby metal last night, because like literally just started listening to them not too long ago, they are technically considered J-pop.
I mean, it's an offshoot. Yeah, sure. I mean, it combines J-pop elements with metal, but yeah, it's pop versus metal. That's my only thing in it.
And they but yeah, no, it will apparently get you some really weird looks in the in the the course of you driving around town, blasting baby metal.
Yeah, but that's because you're not driving a Prius.
Yet.
You drive a Prius, you can blast whatever the fuck you want out of that.
It's that whole giant penis thing again, isn't it?
Absolutely massive. Enormous.
I mean, we all know that it's inversely proportional.
That's right. The fewer the cylinders that your car's engine has, the bigger that your dick is.
So noted.
It's the same thing with motorcycles, but it has to do with volume. The quieter your motorcycle is, the bigger your dick is.
So what you're saying is people who drive Harleys,
tiny, fuck it, like yeah, an acorn on a nest of twigs. What was that? Oh, that was Family Guy. That was a Family Guy lyric. An acorn on a nest of twigs and underneath 2 fetal pigs.
Wow.
Huge balls. Huge balls, tiny dick.
Sounds like a Jose Canseco type situation.
Have you guys seen Sammy Sosa recently?
Giant freaking head.
Is his transformation to a white man completed?
Yeah, pretty much. He's got the blue eyes and the pale complexion. Yeah, I think he's a white guy.
Good for him.
I mean, whatever you want to do with your life, I guess. We have people transitioning from male to female and female to male. Why not transitioning from one race to another?
Rachel Dolezal did it.
That is a fucking good reference.
I'm sorry.
Didn't she get to be like the head of the NAACP?
Yeah, she was one of the heads of the NAACP.
A white lady, head of the NAACP. Yeah, that's great.
And then of course you've got Sean King.
Yeah.
Who on every arrest report he's ever had has checked the white box. And on every college application has checked the white box.
Jeffrey King. The American writer, civil rights activist, and co-founder of Real Justice PAC. Yep. Christ, cracker. Okay, so yeah, anyway. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Church of Chonkwij Podcast. My name is DrNiggle. I'm just Masami, OmegaConstruct, Zero Burn.
Yo.
How you guys doing? It's been a week. It's been a weekend.
Okay.
I got to sit down for like 8 hours consecutively, so that's progress.
That's a long time to sit.
Well, I mean, obviously there were times where I stood, but considering I didn't spend the day moving anything.
Yeah, there you go. Are you done cleaning your old place?
For the most part, we just got to do some attention on the carpet and chuck a bunch of shit from the garage. But like,
is
majority
it on the ground floor?
Yeah.
Well, then just get a power washer and just go inside, and just just open a door and then just sort of power wash everything towards the door. And then once it's outside, it's not your problem. That's the law.
That's true. That is true.
And let's see, Omega and I started plowing through the new Nightwave in Warframe.
Yeah,
last
how'd that
night.
go?
Real good. Very manageable. And I didn't realize, I don't know if Omega realized, but I certainly didn't, that you can recover previous Nightwaves when a new Nightwave starts, which doesn't... I'm sure there's logic in there somewhere. I understand
Yeah,
the
we
mechanics of it.
They give you 10, and we ended up doing 15 last night.
Yeah.
Or wow, did they let, usually it's contained within that set of night
No, so
waves.
like once
I
we
also
finished
thought
a
that.
bunch of them, we
Really interesting.
recovered new ones on the first day of the Nightwave. We recovered.
Yeah, that's got to be new, because it used to be like, within
I
that,
think
like,
it was a glitch, like a bug.
Yeah, it
good
could've
bug.
been. I don't know, maybe it was part of the quality of life update all those many weeks ago.
I don't know. I feel like it's more likely that DE fucked up somehow.
Probably. That
I mean,
seems
yeah.
more plausible.
I did notice that the first mission that we went through, we knocked out 3 in one mission, and it was 2 45s and 1 1000, so we should have gotten exactly 10,000. We got out of that mission, and I was like, it didn't count one of my 4500s. I am
Yeah, it only
furious.
gave us 5,500 after the mission.
I was
So it's a little
infuriated.
janky. But
Well, yeah,
log
I'm
out,
looking.
log back in, fixed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So that worked it. But yeah, there is a new Nightwave up. That's good stuff. Nora's Mix. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there that Omega and I already have, so we're going to be swimming in Nora's Mix credits for whatever. I guess I'm going to be buying a lot of coupons. But eventually, there's a bunch of forma in there, and there's a new signed Donna, and there's a number of forma as usual, and there's a new domestic drone that you're just going to get, which is fantastic for people that don't already have a Roomba. And that's all that I remember.
Sounds about right. I am trying to finish my crap in Lost Ark so I can log in and start in on some of that, since Warframe's now giving me a reason to do stuff in it again.
Yeah, and actually, if we're talking, since you brought up Lost Ark, I don't even. All right, yeah, no, here it is. Okay, I found it. Professional goddamn operation. Amazon Games says that it, quote, made a mistake with Lost Ark's March update. So the March update introduced a new endgame mode, which is called Abyss Raids.
Mm-hmm.
And Abyss Raids are designed for groups of 8 players, and they're fighting against a guardian named Argos. And in order to access this raid, you need to be tier 3, which I assume means, what, level 60?
No, actually, after level 50, things aren't level gated. They're gear score gated after 50. So,
so they need to be gear score 1370.
correct. And basically, for those of you playing the home game or not, when you hit 50, you're effectively gear score about 300, which starts your tier 1 quote-unquote journey. You get to basically about 600, and then you get to the next area, which jumps you up to 800, which makes you tier 2, and 1100 is the tier 3 threshold. So we're talking like upper end tier 3 content.
Right, okay. So to reach this, in the article, to reach this dungeon, you need to be tier 3 and have an item level of 1370. And apparently... Yeah, go ahead. Or no, it's fine.
Sorry, I had someone gesticulate at me, so I was distracted.
Aww. Tell Kosen we said hi.
He apparently lost track of time, so I don't know, we might see him yet.
Alright. The community was less than thrilled with this because the game is new to North America and Europe. So there are definitely people that are gear score 1370 right now, but everyone else who has a day job is probably not in that arena. So there is new content that is being released, and people were cranky that they made it so difficult to get to. I'm not, because just on that specific point, I'm not. It's endgame content. It's not like this is going anywhere. It's not like this is going to disappear.
What if you're bitching about not being able to do it, like saying, hey, there's new content that I can't do, that means that there's still content you haven't fucking done yet.
Exactly. There's so much game in this so much game in this content. Wow.
That's like starting
Also, yeah.
Warframe. That's like a week after starting Warframe, bitching that you don't have a Railjack able to do, Veil Proxima.
Or you can't do arbitrations.
Yeah.
Like, that's just dumb.
There's plenty of other stuff to do. The only thing that the people who complaining about this have a point is that apparently, and again I'm going off the article here, increasing your item level in Lost Ark, at least to level 1370, is done by honing gear, which requires, first of all, luck. This is the reason why the game is not available in the Netherlands and several other regions, because there's absolutely gambling all over this game. Over the game. So honing requires gambling as well as crafting material. A lot of crafting material. And it's expensive, and there are chances to fail this, and you lose stuff, and it is, according to the article, again, quote, it's a slog. So the getting to gear score 1370 is one of those things that sounds like if you're not going to pay cash money for this, to like speed your way to 1370, if that's even possible, and I presume it is, then you're looking at like playing this game casually for 6 months to a year, and then you would get there. So, like, I mean, I get that. Endgame is very extremely far away in this, and yes, there is more content for you to do, but at a certain point, you are repeating content. You're doing dungeons over and over again just so that you can increase your gear score.
Yeah, tiers 1 and 2 go relatively quickly because they have another thing they introduced in, I think it was the recent patch, or maybe it was a patch to the patch, but they kind of padded the honing experience to tier 1 and 2. 3 is where it really grinds down to a certain point, and like to a certain point, like the materials you need to hone stuff like that are available for crystals, which basically translates to cash at some point, are even kind of variable because there's like a secret shop with these components and it changes stock every so often. So what you need for honing materials might not even be available at any particular time. So you're still kind of weirdly time gated on it. Can't just like slap down a credit card and instantly get it. Kind of have to be a little strategic about it. But that's mincing the details. I mean, it's still like tier 3 is still going to be abominable, and I'm not quite looking forward to it. And that's probably when I'll start interspersing other games with my Lost Darkness.
So here's going off what you just said. You're right in that, or actually, this article makes note that Amazon admits they overlooked, quote, certain variables, such as players spending more time on horizontal content. That would be me. Correct. I'm going around collecting Makoko and leveling up my my trade skills. But also, I think it was last week, actually it was probably 2 weeks ago now, that Lost Ark in North America banned over 30,000 accounts because they were botting. Right. And that bot activity, the serious uptick in bot activity, has contributed to a rise in trade prices for mats. Yep. The economy is basically getting fucked with by probably Chinese gold and mat farmers. I'm racist. I know it. I'm fine with it. But let's be honest here. It's mostly dominated by that region of the world, is where you have the huge bot farms and gold services, real cash gold services. So yeah, that fucking with the economy like that is also contributing to the slog of trying to increase your gear score, because mats are not available at all times, and people do want to buy them, and there is a demand for them, so of course bots are going to bot. However,
I didn't even realize that Lost Ark actually had a auction system, or the auction house.
It does, yeah. So there are these special coins called phenons that you use to bid on shit. And I don't know how you actually get them. I've only ever gotten them as login rewards. But
I'm not even sure either. I couldn't even tell you.
I'm sure there's some elaborate system to get them.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah, probably. Well, not only does Lost Ark have
10,000 of them.
No, not yet. Not quite. But yeah, no. It not only has an auction system, but it has a currency exchange market as well. Surprise, surprise.
Of course, yeah. So it is, yeah. In this conversation, it's worth bringing up again that real money transactions are fucking all over Lost Ark, and I recognize it. Haven't had to use any of them yet, but
Yeah, no, I went in on a thing for $20 that Leetness posted that was actually a good deal, and I haven't put a single cent in since that point.
So the last part of this article makes note that next week, actually starting tomorrow, I believe Tuesday, the 22nd, the day this is released, is going to be there will be a new event, a more casual version of the current boss raid fights available to people with item level 250 or higher, and there will be some challenges to go through and some more casual laid back for stuff to do. So new content for the lower level people, which is nice. And there will also be, starting, I think, today or tomorrow, on March 21st, following the next weekly update and some maintenance downtime, all players will receive a gift that includes animal-themed player skins, so that you can finally continue your adventures while dressed as a cow, cat, or penguin. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff here that they're gonna get out, or that everybody's gonna receive for free. So they continue lobbing stuff at you for login rewards, which I'm not gonna complain about.
Yeah, there was something in the patch note or in the thing that they released on Steam, the article about like state of the game or other bullshit that released last Wednesday, where they'd given something to the other regions of the game, and then they were like, "Yeah, we'll give it to North America too. Why not?" And I can't remember if it's that stuff or if that's like a new thing in addition to that stuff. Either way, I kind of enjoy how much they're throwing free shit at us. Even if some of it just goes straight into the storage.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm throwing all the chests and crates and whatever the shit that I get is just going into my stash. I don't know what the fuck to do with it. Is this important now? Should I open this later? I don't know. Brain small. Brain hurty.
It's okay.
And let's see, as long as we're on PC Gamer tabs, I think Masami posted this, a new Witcher game is in development.
Let's see if
Somebody
they can recoup any of the goodwill that they fucking lost.
Yeah, with Cyberpunk's big flop, CD Projekt Red is probably looking to recoup a little bit of community enthusiasm. But they did officially announce this, so CD Projekt Red has confirmed that a new Witcher game is in development, and the reason I'm talking about this, and I was so interested in it, is because they're ditching their Red engine, and they're building this on Unreal 5, and they have a multi-year strategic partnership with Epic Games.
That's what caught my eye. I went, what? Okay.
So they are letting Epic handle the technical aspects of the engine that they will be using, the Unreal engines, obviously Epic's, and the thinking behind this was that the technical aspects to developing and adapting the Red engine were a big part of each time a new game came out, and by delegating this essentially to somebody else, they will have more time to work on the game itself.
One can only hope.
Kind of a smart move then.
The only... Well, I should say, it's obviously a concern whenever you partner with Epic. Is like, is this going to be an Epic Store exclusive?
Yes, I am.
Like, we all know who he's talking to, but at the same time, that was well fucking timed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, the CD Projekt Red has actually said specifically, today, we are not planning on making the game exclusive to one storefront.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, Epic Games, as in so much as the Unreal Engine exists, and Epic Games as a video game marketplace storefront are entirely they're very separated business wise.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there are games that are that are other platform exclusives that use the Unreal Engine.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Unreal Engine is by no means restricted to Epic Game Store.
right. So there's no, yeah. So there is no indication, and there is a strong statement from CD Projekt Red that this will not be an Epic exclusive. They're not looking for exclusivity, and CD Projekt Red is real fond of GOG, if we remember. So yeah,
They created it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no indication, zero indication that it would be an exclusive. The rest of this article is just speculation. Yeah,
the Epic exclusivity deals are usually seen as something to sweeten the pot for like smaller devs, in like the not necessarily smaller like indie level, but in that mid range. Something the size of CD Projekt Red, I don't think Epic has anything to offer them with exclusivity. That like they would not. There's more to lose than to gain for them. If you're like a mid-sized dev studio, and Epic's offering you, guaranteed price of, 500,000 units sold, you're probably going to be pretty happy to take that deal.
But if on the other hand you're, say, Ubisoft, then you might decide that it's a great idea to pull your games off of every platform and only sell them through Uplay.
Yeah, no.
That's tangential. I know that's not...
I know, but it's still I mean, tangential, yes, but still kind of on the mark too, as well, because we all know how much Ubisoft is annoying, and their Uplay storefront is atrocious.
The rest of this article is speculating about how... actually, before I go into that, yeah, also Omega, as you say, they are maybe trying to recoup some of the public favor that they had before Cyberpunk 2077. We should all remember the amount of shitting that happened on Steam when certain game publishers, we may have already mentioned, decided to make their games exclusive to another platform. That typically doesn't go well in the community, so if they really are concerned with their social perception across the world, and they're trying to rebuild the confidence and the love that they had in the community, yeah, the exclusivity is just another reason, is just another way that they could fuck that up, and they're hopefully aware of that. They're hopefully hyper conscious of it.
I gotta imagine any dev that makes the deal to be Epic exclusive, they have a very matter-of-fact, frank conversation with the people at Epic. That's going to be something along the lines of, like, yeah, people are going to be kind of upset about this for a little while, but we're going to pay you a lot of money up front, and they'll eventually forgive you, and it'll come out on Steam in 6 months, so it'll be all right in the long run. Trust us. Like, I there's no doubt in my mind that conversation happens. Developers know when they sign that exclusivity deal that they're going to be pissing some people off. And they're going to be alienating some segment of their player base. But when Epic backs up the Brinks truck, it makes it a little bit easier of a decision.
Yeah, people are still using Brinks trucks. Why haven't we switched to the more efficient dump trucks full of gold bars? Who is that? That was Die Hard 3? Yeah.
Yeah, a Die Hard 3 reference. That's nice.
I didn't realize I did that until I thought of Jeremy Irons.
Not gonna lie.
How Jeremy Irons is doing?
That's a good question. We should look it up. How is Jeremy Irons doing?
How's Jeremy Irons doing? Oh, he looks like he's
still alive.
All right. Yep, still alive.
I didn't realize he was 6'2". Man, that man's fucking giant.
Oh yeah, he's a large man, and 73 years old.
Yeah, Didn't he? Wasn't he? Isn't he the new Alfred in the Batman movie?
Wasn't he the old Alfred in the Ben Affleck Batman movies?
Maybe. I can't remember. I have to double check now, because I need to double check my information on that. Because
okay. So he played Alfred in his most recent credit, 2021 for Alfred, is Zack Snyder's Justice League. So he was.
Okay.
No, it doesn't look like he is in the new Batman movie. He did House of Gucci last year, and we're waiting for.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we're waiting for a TV miniseries called the Pentaverate. This is the part of the podcast where everybody realizes that DrNiggle can't read.
Andy Serkis was tapped to play Alfred Pennyworth in the new Batman movie.
Why
I did not see that coming.
Yes,
He can do everything.
Does an amazing job, apparently.
Andy Serkis
Okay.
can do anything. He can play a South African unobtainium dealer in whatever Avengers movies those were, and he can play Gollum, and he can play. Look, it's all the same universe. Avatar
There
2.
is actually a going theory that like all TV and movie universes are all interconnected together. It's really fucking wild.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah,
There are a lot of-
isn't it the one that's based on the dreams of like autistic kid?
Yes. For those who have can go back into the Wayback Machine of the internet, there is Cracked.com did in one of their various series did an entire skit on essentially the massive web of conspiracy that is all TV, basically linking all TV and TV's shows and movies together. It was like one wild ride from the beginning to the end. I highly recommend looking it up on YouTube because I'm pretty damn sure it's there and it's hilarious.
Like, it's just using every cameo appearance and crossover episode that's ever been done. So like when you put together all the random crossovers from all these different shows, you end up having an argument that like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and General Hospital happened in the same universe, because like if you do the 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game with cameo appearances or like crossover episodes, you end up getting some ridiculous combinations. But again, like the linchpin that sort of ties them all together is that it all is taking place in the dreams of this like nonverbal autistic child.
It's
particularly
that's true
the one
because,
that's
Back to the Future. Back to the Future happened in the exact same universe as Spin City, which just blew my mind.
Yeah, the one that's my favorite is the fact that the X-Files Millennium universe is in the same universe as Law and Order.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
Well, what's funny is the fact that there was a cop procedural show that had Ice-T's partner, the guy with the gray hair, always wears the sunglasses.
Yeah, Munch. He's the one who caused the whole thing. Munch, his character, not the actor, the character Munch appeared on a bunch of different TV shows, including The Simpsons. So The Simpsons is part of this same world, mind you. And like that's just giving you an idea of the depths of the absurdity of this theory. But yes, it all actually is linchpinned around Munch and that character having been done as a crossover onto some weird and somewhat absurd shows.
That is true. That is true.
So the whole fucking entirety of the universe of every single TV show and movie and crossover and all the rest of that is entirely based within the source universe of Saint Elsewhere.
Yes, I believe that is.
I think that's the show with the retarded kid.
Tommy
This is
Westphal, who
fascinating.
portrayed Chad Allen, as a minor character from the drama series St. Elsewhere, which ran on NBC from 1982 to 1988.
Yes.
And he is, I believe he is an autistic child who
Yes.
has a certain fascination with the snow globe. And I think if you're going to watch St. Elsewhere, then skip the next 20 seconds. Fucking spoiler alert. At the end of St. Elsewhere is when we find out that all of the characters in the show and all the relationships and the happenings and the going on have all happened within this kid's mind as he's staring into this snow globe. And you can see in the snow globe it's actually his house.
Yeah, it's super... Yeah.
Where does Stephen King fall into this? Because Stephen King claims to have an entire universe based on the world Turtle.
The entirety of his horror series, every book that he has ever written, with the exception, I think, of those stories that were written underneath his pen name of Richard Bachman, is technically in the same world, and they're all linked by the Dark Tower series.
That must really piss Stephen King off that his entire universe and world got absorbed into St. Elsewhere. It's like, God damn it.
But that's kind of the joke about it, is that like everything got absorbed.
Hey, look, if there's a universe where Star Trek and Farscape exist simultaneously, I'm happy with that.
I'm not gonna lie, me too. Which is really funny because if I remember correctly, during episodes of Farscape, Crichton sometimes specifically references Star Trek as in it's a show that he's watched before.
Dude, that's the last one that he made of Star Trek was in Peacekeeper Wars when he just says, "Yeah, now we got some Federation shit going on."
That's right, I remember that.
Now everybody's joining the
Peacekeeper Wars was
Federation
such a good movie.
three hour long wrap up of Farscape, and it's fucking fantastic. Yeah, no, but my point was Crichton references fucking everything. That show starts off as season 1. He starts off as a character of, okay, I am a pilgrim in an unholy land. What am I doing here? He slowly finds his shoes. From season 2 into season 3, the references to pop culture just keep coming and getting stronger and stronger. And then from season 3 on, half of what he says is referencing pop culture, which some people might find annoying, but I kind of like because of the references that they pick. They are not. They're not fleeting references that he makes. They are references that in 2022, people who are fans of sci-fi would still understand.
Yeah. Well, my particular favorite scenes were the ones where he was talking to Scorpion in his head, and he would Scorpius, sorry. And was it imaginary characters in my head that only I could talk to are named Harvey.
Yeah, exactly. That was great. And he and Harvey have some great... He and Harvey reenact 2001: A Space Odyssey. They reenact Pulp Fiction. They reenact Thunderdome. They reenact... I'm not sure what the one was where they're both dressed up as huge fluffy Easter bunnies, but I'm sure that was a reference to something.
Probably Death to Smoochie or something along those lines.
Yeah, that was another good movie. Wait, Death to Smoochie is no, fucking... Alright, yeah, this is just...
I don't know. It's just one of those things...
Elsewhere. I suppose Death to Smoochie could happen in any universe, really. I mean, Death to Smoochie could happen in the Doctor Strange. It could be like a B-plot in a Doctor Strange movie, and I would believe it.
I mean, you're not wrong. Multiverse of Madness is a thing in May, so...
I'm looking forward to that movie a lot.
Same here. I'm ready for Dark Marvel.
I kind of wish that we could be in the same state, Zero, so that we could go see that together. I really would like that. That'd be awesome.
Dark Marvel just reminds me of how much shit DC got when it came out. People were just like, these movies aren't fun at all. And then DC latched onto that, and they were just like, yeah, well, of course they're not like the Marvel movies. Marvel movies are happy. DC movies are dark and gritty. And everybody was just like, okay, I guess.
Well, and
I'm just having heard Zero just say, I can't wait for Dark Marvel. I'm just really going off this mental picture of big black porn star named Dark Marvel.
Nice.
That Zero is very excited for.
I mean, you never know. It could be a thing.
That's funny.
Behold, the Dark Marvel.
Yeah, all your kids, go to darkmarvel.com.
Oh no, do not.
Oh god, that's
Hold up, I gotta go to
amazing.
darkmarvel.com.
Now I'm curious too. God damn it.
Darkmarvel.com is currently registered to a Chinese holding company.
Of course
So
it is.
if you want to buy it, I
boring.
should really close this before it tries to load more JavaScript.
Yes, that's probably wise.
Thank you, no script. Yeah, alright, so that's Witcher. That was that was a good tangent to go off on. Let's see, real quickly, Omega posted this here, and I think it's hilarious. Fortnite has removed building from its main mode for the new season.
And people are freaking out. It's
People
hilarious.
are so fucking furious, and it's really telling of how old the audience of this game is, because they're behaving appropriate to their age, and they are freaking out that their build mode is going away, and they haven't bothered to read the fine print, which is for this season, just for this season. It's part of whatever story they're trying to throw out there. It's not going away forever. It's just for this. So yeah, they're launching a new season called Resistance, and the whole, I don't know how this story is supposed to unfold, but, quote, building has been wiped out. It's up to the Resistance to get it back. Jump in with your squad and help this out. I don't care about the rest of this. So, aliens came along and somehow removed everyone's ability to build things. So I can no longer whittle sticks or put twigs together to form a lean-to, or whatever. I've just completely forgotten how to build things, and I look at tools, and I'm just like, what are these for? Do I put these into me?
And yet you can load a gun, shoot people, and do a bunch of other complex tasks. But building, oh no.
If we can't build anymore, does that mean that we can't make more ammunition? Are we really up shit creek here? Do we have to?
I think all weapons and ammunition are provided by whatever overlords are in control of the Fortnite universe.
Yeah, that is just drops, like loot drops.
But this is the thing. I demand consistency in the lore of the rich story environment that is Fortnite.
No, you don't.
I don't. I don't care about this game at all, and I think Ninja is a twat. I've discussed it at length.
Yes.
In the words of the great George Carlin, good. Fuck them.
Did you see that? It was a thing I posted a while back. I saw it as a Facebook ad, but apparently Masterclass paid Ninja to do a streaming class on their learning site.
Yes, you did post that, and I did read through that. It was
Okay.
You posted a screenshot of the ad because you didn't want to click it.
No,
I remember
I'm not giving
this now.
that thing anything. No.
Yeah,
Right.
that fucker doesn't need any more AdSense than what he already gets.
So yeah, Ninja was offered a deal to do a masterclass of just like how to develop your social media profile, basically how to get your social media how to gain 10,000 followers in 1 week. Asterisk, his statement is not legally binding.
Are you playing Kerbal Space Program there, Zero?
I am.
Okay. I see a lot of explosions on your launch pad.
Amazingly enough, nobody's died this time yet.
Give it time.
Give it time. Let's see here. I need to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's that for a little while. All right, so that's the end of Fortnite. All right, I found this and I thought this was fucking amazing. PUBG Mobile announces Warframe crossover event.
Wait, what?
Excuse me.
So PUBG Mobile has announced a crossover collaboration with Warframe, and I immediately thought, okay, so we're going to have futuristic walking war crimes capable of just slaughtering entire planets worth of people and containing godlike powers and being, for all intents and purposes, completely fucking immortal, going up against people with cast iron skillets and shotguns. Who do you think's gonna win? Because I don't care how fast you can jerk back and forth, like left and right, while you reload and try to no-scope me or whatever the fuck. All I need is an Excalibur and an Exalted Blade, and you're fucking dead.
I mean, that's true.
I can move faster than you, I can do more damage than you, you can shoot me in the head all you want, it's not gonna get through my shields.
From March 10th to April 19th, it looks like that people will be able to earn Warframe-themed skins and other items, it looks like.
And that's exactly what it is. So the Warframe crossover with PUBG is glitter. It's all glitter-based. So Warframe-themed skins and other Warframe-themed items by playing and competing in special missions and events.
Mm-hmm.
And this is only for PUBG Mobile, by the way. So
okay.
Apparently PUBG
What's
Mobile
Warframe getting out of this?
Publicity, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
They might figure that there are people in the PUBG community who want to transition over to Warframe for shits and giggles.
They're like entirely different games.
They really are. Yeah. For one thing, in Warframe, you keep all your stuff.
I don't see the logic in the partnership. Warframe is just an entirely different type of game than Battle Royale experience. I don't understand, I mean, there are certainly players who play both, but there is no inherent natural crossover.
The mobile version has, I'm quoting from the article here. The mobile version has a history of unique collaborations with crossovers ranging from other video game series like League of Legends to real-life stars like K-pop group Blackpink. Warframe, then, is a perfect match given how popular the series is. Digital Extreme's free-to-play shooter multiplayer was first released, blah, 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 blah. So, for some reason, IGN just sort of made the statement, Warframe, then, is a perfect match given how popular the series is. So, what, the popularity? It's just PUBG apparently has a history of just crossing over with whoever's the most popular at the time, so you get their name out there to try and attract new players or try and get new players to other places. I don't know.
I mean, it kind of seems like it.
I don't get it either. But yeah, there was a.
I'll tell you what the journalist was doing when he wrote that was he was copy and pasting from the press release that PUBG put out. It
does sound that way. Yeah. So
anyway,
no, I mean,
I'm telling you that's exactly what happened. As a person who's a former journalist, that is literally exactly what you were reading right there.
All right, Matt Kim, we're calling you out. Sweet article though. Nice color scheme, nice pictures. But yeah.
Yeah.
This does actually read a lot like a press packet.
No, I mean that's one of the major criticisms in journalism in general is that too much of journalism is just repackaging press releases and not doing actual reporting and investigative research. And yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm not gonna shit on just this one dude because it's not just him. But yeah, definitely a major problem in journalism. Part of why I'm not in journalism anymore.
Yo. And well, in more positive news here, Humble Bundle put out a pack, or they started selling a pack last week that was approximately, it was between $2,500 and $6,500 worth of games, and there are not just games, also software and ebooks and application or special links to sites where you can take courses to learn things like Unreal Engine and stuff like that. And they put this out specifically in support of Ukraine. They're donating all the proceeds to charities that are at the bottom of this page. And I'll throw this up here. They have as of now, raised $11.5 million for
That's
Ukraine.
amazing.
100% donated to Ukraine humanitarian relief efforts. So $40 will get you 123 items on here, including Metro Exodus, Satisfactory. I believe Endless Space 2 is also in there. Kerbal Space Program that Zero's playing is also in there, and there are many other, a lot of titles, a surprising number of titles in here.
Isn't that why Zero is playing Kerbal Space Program?
Is why Zero's.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Thanks to our wonderful streamer.
Yes.
I wasn't gonna tout my enormous penis.
Hey, you know what? I'll tout it for you because I enjoy it.
All right.
It's
Well,
always nice when you find a friend to carry the weight that bears you down.
Who's Samwise in this equation? I mean, okay.
Yes.
Given the choice of playing Samwise or Frodo, I probably would choose Samwise because he gets to go home and slam Rosie, which is like that's great. What does Frodo do? He goes home and he's sad, and then he leaves.
Well, PTSD sucks.
It totally does, but you tell me the Shire doesn't have a therapist, or like a veterans association or something? Well, maybe the Shire doesn't have a veterans association, but they fucking should.
Did you know that the little girl shown at the end when Samwise is like with Rosie and their potential, or they're basically their assumed progeny, that was actually Sean Astin's daughter. Like that was actually his actual daughter.
Oh,
as an infant. Sorry, it used to be a really big like Lord of the Rings, and that when it was like a thing, and I had a lot of friends who knew a lot of really useless information.
Speaking of,
you also might know that's in the first Lord of the Rings movie, in Fellowship of the Rings, when Ian Holm as Bilbo Baggins is telling he's telling stories to these little children, and he's telling about how they almost got eaten by trolls. He's telling him the story of the Hobbit, and there are these kids, and there's a close up on one of them. You can see her face really clearly. The next time you see this group of children is in Two Towers, when they're hiding in Helm's Deep. They are playing completely different characters. They're humans this time instead of hobbits. And they make appearance again in Return of the King, when Minas Tirith is being raided. Those are the children of the executive producers of Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
Of course it is.
I mean, if you're going to source it local.
Also, I believe that... Does Peter Jackson make an appearance in all three movies, or is it just Two Towers and Return of the King?
I want to say that he makes a appearance in all three movies. They're like all minor roles. But
right, I remember, they always are. The other one, I think his name is Richard Taylor, is the one of the executive producers. He's also, I remember him specifically because he's on the boat in Return of the King with Peter Jackson. They're playing pirates. They're the guys who are just like, hey, fuck you, Aragorn. We're gonna steal your shit because, we're pirates and we're assholes. And then Legolas shoots one of them in the chest. Shoots Peter Jackson in the chest, I think.
That's all right. Remember that basically Stephen Colbert was taking a vacation in New Zealand, went to go visit essentially the Hobbiton area where basically they built Hobbiton in New Zealand, and while he was there, they were filming Desolation of Smog, and and Peter Jackson's like, hey, Colbert, do you want to cameo in the movie? And he essentially was somebody. He played a role in Lake Town, very briefly. Like he was just some little side character or whatever. But yeah, no, it made fucking Stephen Colbert's nerdy little heart sing for a while.
Yeah, he's the most adorable Lord of the Rings nerd ever.
Oh, Stephen Colbert.
Oh yeah, did we all hear the fact of the matter that Amazon now owns all things media-wise when it comes to Lord of the Rings with their acquisition of MGM?
We do, yeah, we do. Well, we haven't talked about it, but yeah, as a side story here, yeah, Amazon did finish up what is it, $8.5 billion deal to buy MGM.
Mm-hmm.
That seems low, but yes, they do. They do indeed own MGM now. So
Give it like 20 years and everything is going to be owned by Alphabet, Amazon,
Meta.
Disney.
No, Meta's
Yeah,
going to flame
Disney.
out. I think Meta's. I
Oh.
think Meta's going to flame out.
An
That's my
optimist.
bold prediction. Yeah, that's my bold prediction. Oh
Okay.
no, I mean not necessarily in a good, like optimistic way. Something horrible will take its place, of course.
No,
Uh,
I think it's optimistic to say that the Facebook and Meta will go up because I would love to see Facebook stop. I just like to see it stop. It's cancerous in its current form. It's getting worse every day.
Yeah.
I think their push to VR is going to kill them.
Yeah.
I think that's a miscalculated decision. But anyway,
Yeah, you got
give it like
Amazon
20, 30 years, everything's going to be owned by like 5 different companies.
Right.
probably. Then there will be yeah, all right. Anyway, so yeah.
And then they'll
$11.5
offer
million
us online streaming services underneath one thing, and it'll be cable all over again.
Yep.
Only
that would-
through the internet.
Mm-hmm. But
And
it'll
we
somehow be
can-
more expensive.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, of course. Well,
Mhm.
inflation.
Well, and delivery costs.
Yes.
I'm already making excuses for them.
Do you have any idea how difficult it
throw
is to
that any
transmit
deeper,
data
Doc.
over the internet?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
extremely difficult.
wicked-
Yeah,
it's wicked hard.
the internet is a series of tubes.
Yeah, and it really takes a lot of effort to force things through those tubes.
That's right.
Mhm.
Then those tubes clog up. Somebody put something in the internet last week, and I only got it today.
Someone needs to give those tubes an IUD.
So, oh damn. So the internet needs to become a fan of sounding.
Oh,
Jesus. Oh God! Of all things.
Well done. Speaking of invasive objects. That'll do.
Jesus.
I mean, when he goes deep.
Oh god. Yeah. Well. Okay. Speaking of invasive objects, thank you for that, Masami.
You're welcome.
NVIDIA RTX 3080 prices get slashed by 35% overnight. Is the nightmare over? Spoilers: no. So earlier this week, I think the prices leaked for the RTX 3090 Ti that's due out, and it was clocking in somewhere around $4,000, which is hardly surprising to me, but apparently everybody else was horribly shocked by that because everyone's a fucking idiot. But the current RTX 3080s that are out have been selling for somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 a pop. That's American, so the price drop... Look, they say it dropped from $1,700 to $1,100 last week. $1,700 is a fucking optimistic price that you would find for an RTX 3080. But the point is, it's a 35% drop. So instead of $2,000, you're paying $1,400 or $1,300, which is still fucking outrageous for a GPU. But the price is dropping, and now tech specialists or analysts or whatever are trying to get a handle on how far it's going to drop and how long it's going to take. So this article I like because it is mostly pessimistic, and it says, yeah, GPU price drops are real, but you probably still shouldn't buy one. I agree.
I thought you would like that. Like, I did a pretty
It makes
decent,
me sad though.
I mean,
Well-
we're still a long way, so.
There's not a lot of... I'd like to think that the only thing that we can do to encourage this kind of behavior as consumers is just not buy the products and let the scalpers scoop them up and sit on them and just lose all their potential investment. But really, I don't know how much effect that can practically have. So whatever, just continue not buying GPUs. Maybe this will work.
Well, I don't even think it's a matter of not buying GPUs because, like, 9 times out of 10, most GPUs aren't even fucking available.
Well, okay. When a new GPU comes out, that is true. RTX 3080s have been out long enough that, RTX 80s have been out long enough. People have suspended buying GPUs for long enough. And NVIDIA has had an ample amount of time to come out with the next generation of those GPUs. There's 3 factors in my mind that contribute to this price dropping. And yes, obviously scalpers all buy GPUs when they come out. However, if the scalpers don't make their investment back, presumably they start dropping their own prices so that they can move some of their inventory.
That would be nice.
Because at the end of the day, scalpers are middlemen, and middlemen do operate like a business. That's my big brain statement of the day.
Yeah.
For some reason, my brain decided to take the phrase middleman in that context and compare it to the cream within an Oreo, and I'm like, they're not that delicious, though. That's my random thought.
Depends on the Oreo.
Have you guys had dark chocolate Oreos?
I have
Yes.
Not.
It was a novelty that I just came across. I was like, huh, never seen this before. Dark chocolate Oreos they're pretty okay.
Yeah.
Still a fan of double stuff.
Well, double stuff is like the ultimate Oreo. Although, technically, my favorite are the Halloween Oreos.
Oh, the spooky, scary skeletons.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Halloween Oreos do. Dude, as far as candy goes, like in the marketing departments, people are all like, oh, the memes that come out of Snickers. Nah, dude, Reese's. Reese's knows exactly how to fucking market their shit. They make banging commercials. Those commercials slap. I'm a fan of advertising because I worked in advertising.
Advertising as a profession can be very fun.
Yep. If you are given sufficient freedom and leeway and you're working with people with good senses of humor, yeah, it can be pretty kick-ass. On the other hand, if you're working with people with extremely stringent standards and they're no nonsense and there's a whole bunch of fine print that needs to be included in your ads, you're probably working for someone who's paying you entirely too much, so that's good too.
Yeah. I wonder what it's like to work for an ad agency. I hear it's kind of cutthroat in there.
Oh, you mean, New York admin? You want to be a madman in New York?
God, no,
yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, no, you'll get an ulcer. Or you'll just die. Just straight up heart attack at work. And then they'll call the janitor in and he'll remove your body with a broom and just sweep you onto the elevator. And then you're a different floor's problem.
It's like when a dead body floats into a certain city, just push it back out. Maybe it'll float down to the next town.
I feel like you have an experience with this there, Zero.
I don't want to talk about it.
Of course not.
Zero, I was thinking about this the other day. Why don't you live in East Virginia?
Oh my god. Technically, I do live in East Virginia.
I know. It should be called East Virginia. You don't get Carolina doesn't get to pull this shit.
Virginia's just too stubborn to rename itself. That's really what it comes down to. They were like, West Virginia can do what the fuck it wants. It's dumb, it's retarded, we're not giving into it.
Is West Virginia the annoying kid in school who used to follow you around and wanted to be just like you, and so they founded West Virginia and it was like, we're gonna be West Virginia. We're gonna be your neighbor, and we're gonna come over to your house and play PlayStation, and we're gonna be best friends. And Virginia's just sitting there being like, shit.
And then gives them a controller that's not plugged in.
Yes, it's true.
Am I doing it? Yes. Yeah, you're doing it.
Yeah,
Good job. Thanks for the assist there. Hey, why don't you go check if the stove is on?
Mm-hmm.
Make sure to get inside. You gotta get in real close to see if
So,
the fan is spinning.
Make
I
sure
don't
you
know.
put your hand on the burners. That's the best way to tell.
Oh, hey,
No,
you want
no.
to play hide and seek? You go first, okay? You go hide, and I'll seek you. All right? I'll start counting backwards from 100, and then
I don't
you
know
just
if
sit there.
Doc actually does have younger siblings, but he sounds exactly like I have all my life with my little brother Colin. Oh my god, that is just so on point. It's not even funny.
So I tried to be like that with my sister for the longest time, and she had this. You guys remember when Disney used to sell the character themed pillows, and they had
Yeah, they totally
one.
they still do
It
that.
was Ariel, and the tail was sewn in such a way that the tail would flap. Well, she started using the tail as a handle and was smacking me with this pillow. So anytime I would be mean to her, she would run out of the room, go and grab this pillow, and the stuffing in the large portion of that pillow became about as hard as rocks. And I would just get it's probably the reason why I have it's probably one or two of the 17 concussions that I have. If I had to guess.
What's the? I
So-
promise this is. I
Zero?
promise this is relevant. Zero. I promise this is relevant, but we're gonna go on a bit of a tangent here. Just please bear with me. Does anybody remember the name of the guy in Little Mermaid who she falls in love with, or he falls in love with her, or whatever?
Sebastian, or no, sorry, Eric, Prince Eric.
Prince Eric. Okay, so isn't it a little bit weird that Prince Eric, who is I don't know how old, falls in love with a 14-year-old girl, and has to.
He was 22 at the time.
He's 22 at the time, and he's falling in love
Yes.
with a 14-year-old girl, and he has to, kiss her so that she can, get her legs or her voice back or some bullshit. I don't even remember the story. Is that creepy? Because that seems creepy.
Yeah,
Those
there's-
Disney stories are fucking creepy.
So
Yeah,
so
if you
fun,
really think
fun,
about it, yeah.
fun story about Rapunzel. Flynn is 21 and Rapunzel is 17. He has to wait, or if you watch the movie, he waits until the night of her birthday to kiss her. So
That is true.
he waited.
Isn't Flynn regarded as one of the actual decent male leads
Yes.
in a Disney movie?
Yes,
Because
but he-
he's like self-aware or something.
yes.
Yeah, he's
There are
basically
decent ones.
self-aware because he's like, he finds it very weird that people just burst into songs in Disney movies.
So
He is the
when
Deadpool.
So
Yes.
yeah, Ariel, it was ostensibly marries Eric, and she becomes a princess or whatever, but she's still like 14 or 15 years old, and then she grows up, and becomes an adult finally, and just like, because here's the thing, young women might think it's hot to date an older man. Like a woman in her 20s might think that it's hot to date like a 40 or 45-year-old man just because whatever, financial security or whatever. But here's the thing: when that woman hits 45 and she thinks about dating a 20-year-old man, that's gonna be fucking gross in her mind, rightly so. So that's always the perspective that I take from these things. So Ariel grows up and she turns 22 and she's just like, I'm married to a total fucking perv. And then their relationship becomes totally fucking abusive and she starts physically abusing Eric. That's the story of your pillow, Zero.
You went a long way for that, and I am here for it.
My God.
I'm not justifying spousal abuse. I'm speculating on a scenario whereby it might be
Yes.
possible for this to happen.
Understand. I
Oh my
mean,
God.
it's up a tone. See, I was simply going to be outraged in that, I was going to ask Zero what other untreated medical conditions he has in addition to 17 concussions and a hernia and whatever else.
Shut up! I don't want to talk about it.
Right, HIPAA, etc.
Yeah. I'm also not going to tell you my COVID status, you asshole. No, I'm kidding.
Fully vaccinated. Yep. Anyway.
No,
You're
I have to have a CT scan done every 5 years to ensure that my brain is okay because, oh God, I don't want to say this because it's so bad, but
You
Crispin
don't have
Law-
to. You realize you don't have to talk about anything
Yes,
on this
you
podcast
really don't
if you
have
don't want
to.
to.
No, it's okay. I would rather talk about it that way. everybody can look back at this and go, God, Zero really was completely fucked.
Oh God.
I mean, Kosen, I'm sure knows who I'm talking about when I say Chris Benoit. I'm sure everybody knows who I'm talking about when I say Chris Benoit.
Balls.
So, and that was a tragedy, and we don't like Chris Benoit or what
Balls.
he did. Yes, balls. Lots of balls.
You can't say Chris Benoit balls without saying balls.
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 Balls. Boxes.
I like bowls.
Where?
Speaking of liking balls, Netflix Resident Evil live action series is debuting in July.
Oh my.
Long time ago, we used to do gaming and media, and
Jesus Christ, that picture! Holy shit!
I love this dude. This dude was
What
in
the
this
fuck?
dude was in a show called Fringe, and he fucking nailed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I liked Fringe. That was really cool series for as long as my attention span lasted with it.
Yeah, Fringe was nice. It's only four seasons, I think.
Wasn't it
5
from a Canadian channel, or am I thinking something different? I can't remember.
You might be thinking of Continuum.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
Continuum.
I think I've
Continuum
seen
was
both. Oh.
yeah, I definitely have as well. Continuum I know takes place in Toronto or
Yes.
Yeah, Toronto. And yeah,
I
I'm
think
not sure
I
where
think I
Fringe was from.
watched Fringe, and then Continuum was recommended to me because Netflix is insidious as fuck.
Continuum
Yeah.
was actually not half bad.
Continuum has Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
That's true.
It also has the guy who plays Teal has Braytak in it. As the leader of the fucking terrorist.
Yeah, Master Braytak. Yeah, that's true. That's a fucking. We're talking about Stargate SG-1. For everybody who hasn't watched that or just abjectly refuses to watch that, all 11 seasons worth.
They should though. It's fucking good.
I gotta tell you, I went back and I watched some episodes. It hasn't really aged well. It started off in the early 90s, and I think it wrapped in the early aughts, and it is part of that magical, really super awkward transition period of sci-fi between Star Trek Voyager and Battlestar Galactica. There's a really, really fucking awkward space of time there when sci-fi was evolving.
Yeah, and you can really tell when it goes from Stargate Season 6 into Stargate Season 7. That's exactly where that transition happened. I mean, not only does Jack get weird things start happening with Jack's character, but then that's when Battlestar Galactica was being shot and all that jazz.
Actually, myself, I'm always been of the opinion that the best season
7, 8. Sorry.
From season 7 on to the end of the series was probably some of Stargate's best plot and episodes that they have done. Earlier before that, yeah, definitely there's a lot of shaky episodes, but there are also really good iconic ones. Window of Opportunity being the one that always comes to my mind in regards to Stargate episodes. But yeah, no, I get it.
There's also the trend. Stargate is an interesting show. It's still an interesting show just because of the number of times that it sort of it didn't reinvent itself, but I want to say it reinvented itself. It changed without breaking the consistency of its themes.
Right.
If that makes any sense at all. So
it does.
there is the transition between Masami says, yeah, season 7 and 8. Yeah, there was a lot of changing of how stories were told, how arcs were evolving, and how larger stories started to play more and more into the show. And then the other transition was after Farscape got canned and the show took on Ben Browder and Claudia Black. And their
best decision ever.
It really was. And those two characters sort of they reinvigorated the series as it was going out. Also, Richard Dean Anderson, I think, wanted more time to spend with his family, So it was welcome for just about everybody, and he didn't lose his status. He kept on coming back and having guest spots as Colonel O'Neill, General O'Neill, and
Well, it's such a popular character. I'm sure it
of
was
course.
like too good not to.
I really enjoy Richard Dean Anderson's performance. I think that he's a really good actor, and I realize that he's had a lot of difficulty, or a lot of trials and tribulations in his time. And as far as I know, he is still sober, so good on him.
Yeah.
However,
sure.
it is worth noting one of the reasons why people fell in love with Colonel O'Neill, one of the big reasons at the top of the list, was his brusqueness and his directness, and the entire reason why his character evolved that way is because he essentially refused to say any line that was more than a sentence or more than one line of dialogue at a time, because he was struggling. One of the reasons he was struggling with alcohol. So, I'm not crediting or criticizing. I'm just pointing out this is something that has been brought up, and
I didn't realize it. Like, I didn't realize that he had such short lines until you just said that. But then I'm like thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? You're not wrong, because even if he does say a lot during a scene, like he says like one thing and then a bunch of other people take a turn and then he says a couple more things, and it's always very short, and
you will always notice either Michael Shanks or Amanda Tapping always have I want to say diatribe. They always have the long technical
monologue
explanations. Yeah, the monologue. Thank you.
Which makes sense for the actual character, because here Jack finds himself in charge of a freaking scientist and who will go off on a particular thing, and he doesn't really care. Just give him the short version. So, and I think a lot of people were endeared to that, especially those folks who might not have like enjoyed a whole lot of like technological or intellectual stuff. So.
If I was live editing this, I would smash cut to the scene of O'Neill looking out of the Goa'uld ship saying, "Carter, I can see my house."
Yes.
Actually, my favorite line from Colonel O'Neill comes from the Groundhog Day episode.
Window of Opportunity.
Yep.
Oh.
Where he's playing golf and the one dude
what are you doing?
What the hell are you doing?
In the middle of my backswing, sir. That's my favorite
great
line.
The other great part of that episode is when he's trying to talk to Teal'c and he's trying to explain how humans don't deal well with repetitive behavior, and he does a Pablo Picasso with ketchup and mustard. He makes a face on his plate. That's just fantastic.
The entirety of that episode is just one great thing after another. Just absolutely hilarious.
Especially when Teal'c gets tired of getting bashed in the face every time he wakes up, and he just punches that dude. He just starts knocking that dude out every morning.
It's great. It's so good.
I remember Stargate
so much.
Shit on a shingle. All right, we were talking about Lance Riddick, who's starring in the Netflix live-action Resident Evil series, which will debut on July 14th.
Okay,
so
the only reason I will watch that is I want him to one time in that show just go, Guardian, just once. Just one time is all I want. I want him to say the word Guardian. Or Indeed.
Lance Reddick, absolutely would do that. He's the guy, he has a wonderful personality. As far as I can tell from everything that I've ever seen of him outside of a video, he does not seem like a stuck-up asshole. He probably is crazy, but he's the fun kind of crazy. So he absolutely would do that, and he would love the reference and also probably the attention. I don't know how serious this show is going to be. If this picture of Lance is any indication, I hope that it's partially goofy, but this could actually be Lance playing a crazy man.
Resident Evil is a goofy fucking series, even though it is a survival horror game, or that's what it's generally been classified as over the year. I mean, it is fucking goofy. I mean, come on. Resident Evil 6, Chris punches a goddamn boulder out of the way, and it is the most cheesiest scene I've probably ever seen in the entirety of the Resident Evil series, and it's fucking great. I mean, one of the opening lines.
Yeah, there's some stuff there, isn't there? I hadn't thought
Yeah,
about the games for a long time.
Yeah, and like the very first Resident Evil game, when you escape from the ceiling trap, and basically the guy who's in charge of the STARS team that's with you, he's just like, "You are almost a Jill sandwich." Like, come on.
That's true. Look, I never got to 6. I think the last Resident Evil I ever played was Resident Evil 3, and that was back on like the PS1, I think. I can't even remember. So yeah, it's been a while. In terms of the movies starring Mila Jovovich, I can say, yeah, they're just schlock fests. They're non-stop cheese, and sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not.
I saw the first one, and that's kind of was enough for me.
That's really all you need.
Yeah, and I've been watching a Canadian streamer kind of casually go through a bunch of the Resident Evil games, so I now know enough to be dangerous. And I was kind of like, I'm reading what you've got on the screen here a little bit, but I'm really curious. Are they going like a different, like they're not just rehashing the games? It looks like they're kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
As far as I can tell, it's 2036, 14 years after a deadly virus caused global Jade Wesker fights for survival in a world overrun by bloodthirsty, infected, insane creatures. The absolute carnage Jade is haunted by her past in New Raccoon City, but her father's chilling connections with the Umbrella Corporation, but mostly what happened to her sister, Billy. So, yeah, it does look like they are... they're not going off any storyline that I know of from a movie or a game. So I can only say that much.
It might be worth a watch.
I heard that there. Did anybody here watch the live-action movie reboot of Welcome to Raccoon City? Supposedly, it's supposed to be way more accurate to the lore of the games and whatnot.
And I don't care about the lore of Resident Evil at all.
I understand that.
Really.
I'm just saying, has anybody actually seen it here or not?
I did.
Okay, Zero, what was your opinion?
It was awful.
That bad, huh?
Oh, it was awful.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it was awful.
The last, I mean, I loved Resident Evil 0 and 1 and 2 and 3. Like, those are the best ones. 4 is actually the best out of those ones. But there hasn't been a really good Resident Evil game in a while since 7 and 8. 7 and 8 are fucking amazing games.
Zero, what was it? If you could put something on it, why was it awful? Was it story? Was it acting? Was it?
Oh, it was
production
story
value?
and acting.
Okay.
And I mean, I know we're dealing with CGI here. I get it, but CGI has come a long fucking way, and there are ways to make it look better than they did.
Oh my god! Wait, there was an example. There was a movie that came out late last year, that I watched, that had CGI in it that basically looked like it was from 2004. And I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. Why they would put so much attention to the rest of the movie, but the CGI was so shitty. It'll come to me eventually. But, yeah.
It will strike like lightning.
It will. The neuron has been fired off, and it is searching for the appropriate path. It's hitting a whole bunch of other neurons that are just being like, no, you can't use the bathroom here.
It's going on a great journey. Maybe it'll drop the ring into the volcano instead of, going around the countryside.
Well, then when it comes back to me, it's going to be sad, and then it'll leave with the elves. I can't lose more brain cells, or neurons, or either, or both.
Or all of the above.
Doc need brain to make thinking good.
As well as, speak okay.
Me speak good. Me know English. Me speak good English. Speaking of languages. And the second thing in gaming in media, A Plague Tale: Innocence is going to be a TV series.
I actually haven't played that game, but I hear it's really good.
I don't know if anybody played this game. I did. I think I got it for free. I think they were giving it away for free on the Epic Game Store at one point, and that's how I got it. But it is a really visually impressive horror adventure game. I didn't really find it that horror, but the adventure aspect of it, and also it was third person, so that's a game that I will play. It's pretty short. It was developed by an indie studio, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, it's very
And,
indie.
Quick synopsis, it follows the story of two siblings in 14th century France who are ravaged by the Black Death and the unnatural horde of rats carrying it. So, they are making it into a TV series. It is going to be filmed in France, and it has been assigned to French director Mathieu Turi, who I do not know. He apparently previously did horror movies like Hostel and Meander. The first Hostel was a novel idea, if anybody remembers that film. It's gore porn. It was a novel idea when it came out, and it was brand new for its time, and it was shot fairly well. It's just it is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous movie, and if you can get past that and you can enjoy other aspects of it, then it's fine. I don't know if anyone here has seen Meander. That's much more recent. I did watch that.
Mm-mm.
No.
Really familiar. Basically, it starts off with a woman who's obviously in some sort of emotional distress, and she's walking along the side of the road, and she hitches with a guy who pulls over. It's raining, so she hitches with this guy, and then bright light in the sky, and she finds herself in some sort of claustrophobic maze environment, and she has to navigate her way through this maze, and we learn things about her, things about the guy who she was hitchhiking with, things about the environment that she's in. It's an interesting sci-fi horror, quote unquote. Again, I think it's light on the horror and pretty heavy on the sci-fi. It's worth a watch. Interesting movie. So this guy has two movies under him that I am familiar with that are new. He has new ideas. So I like that in terms of how he shoots things, in terms of how he creates a mise-en-scene to really capture the environment of whatever story he's telling. So this has potential to it. The story for A Plague Tale: Innocence in and of itself as a game is pretty solid. It has good characters in it. It's a little over the top in terms of the bad guys in it. The bad guys in it are just obnoxiously bad. The good people in it are like Smurf level of good. And but apart from that, yeah, everything. This might be worth taking a look at along with the Resident Evil movie. But yeah, so these two
keep
things.
an eye out for that.
These two things just got announced.
Anything else from Netflix in that regards, or?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm sure there's other stuff. But yeah, nope. That's all I got. That's the whole list.
Oh wow!
Through.
Well done.
Hour and 20 minutes later, we made it through. All right.
Good on us.
Yeah, I was about to say we didn't deviate too much. I mean, there were plenty of deviations.
We deviate. Fucked up. That's what we do. That's what makes.
That's right.
That's
And
what makes
Warframe
good.
got mentioned, and it wasn't a big deal because it was in an actual article.
That's right. Oh, and now that we're okay, yeah, two things. So Masami, we still don't have D&D next week, right?
Correct.
I'm
not until
sad.
at least April. I'm sorry.
That
I'm
makes
so
me
sorry.
sad. But yeah, that's fine. It's
Why
understandable.
Is it your birthday next week?
What's the... No.
Okay.
No, it's still March next week. Yeah, no, it's not my birthday next week.
I wasn't
one?
sure.
The source of my
Which one?
confusion here relates to a very old story, which I'm probably tired of telling, and Omega is probably tired of hearing. So yeah.
Noted.
You lost that capsule and that pilot there, Zero. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
Dude. Yeah, dude.
Oh my god, I gotta go back.
Are you
killing-
stream?
Are you killing kobolds?
I killed poor Jedediah. He died.
Jebediah.
Jedediah. No!
No,
Oh
how
my
could
god. Do you name these kobolds?
No, the Kerbals are all pre-named.
Their mothers and fathers name them, Masami, and then they grow up and they go to school and they have lives and they fall in love and they get jobs and they go here because they're excited about space travel, and then Zero just blows them up.
Jeb is always your first Kerbal.
Mm-hmm.
May he live forever in our hearts and memories.
Build a monument
The
to
goal
him.
is to keep him alive.
Yep.
Valentina, she can suck it. No one cares about her. But you try to keep Jeb alive as long as possible.
Poor Jeb. He was gonna make it, and then his parachute burned up on re-entry, and yeah, it was just.
Because you deployed it too soon.
Wait, is this because you
No.
deploy? Because you have a serious problem with parachutes burning up.
Well, no, I mean, I may do it on purpose once or 7. Don't judge me. I can feel you judging me.
I don't judge you. I'm impressed with your gameplay, and I would like to see you kill more of these little green people.
I suppose they could be doing worse things to him. At least they don't suffer long.
Nope.
Oh, I was also going to say...
You're a bad person.
Who, me?
All of you.
I'm fucking awful, and I know it.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean...
I didn't realize your wife's name was awful.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Sorry, that was a really bad one. That was a really bad one.
That was a little rough. I don't know how I feel about that one. Slightly uncomfortable right now.
I'm staying out of this.
Are you sure you're discomforted by that or the untreated hernia?
Well, both, but
He's reclining. Was that the untreated hernia? No, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I know what that was. No, that was not Zero. That was somebody sucking water through a straw.
It wasn't
was
me
me.
this time.
Yo, you guys got an ice maker in your fridge.
Yes,
I
we
know.
do. It's great.
Hashtag first world problems, but Jesus Christ, I love that thing so much.
I've never had an ice maker in a refrigerator. Jesus fucking Christ, Zero, what are you doing?
I did not even press. I must have grazed the damn button because poor Jedediah, man, he's just
He's having a great time. Look at him.
Well,
You
I
killed
complete-
Kosen. Congratulations.
I completed a contract. Thank God.
Fucking amazing.
Oh God. Doc, this is one of those games that I will be able to have on at work. If I need a good giggle after a bad call, I'll just shoot a Kerbal into space and leave it out there for a while.
Ow.
Do they need food and water and air?
I mean, maybe, but not on Tuesdays.
This demands an experiment.
They do not. There are mods that add life support needs.
You've never played Kerbal Space Program and Doc?
No, I haven't, and it's sitting in my Steam library, and Omega, I used to watch Omega play it because you were good at it for like a long time, Omega, and I don't know, I just didn't get around to it. I really do, I do enjoy the rocket building aspect though, so I probably should get into it.
I've seen
Also,
Omega do it.
Also, I've seen Omega do it too. But
Wait.
we're talking about Kerbal Space Program here.
Oh God. I think I see what the problem is. Why that launch failed so spectacularly. I kind of have the rocket and parachute stage both on the same stage. So once I hit 1,000 feet, that parachute just popped right the fuck out.
Check your staging is one of the Always and forever relevant maxims of Kerbal. Before launch, always check your staging.
But look at that. Jedediah made it back safe.
That's nice. You even landed upright. You even landed upright like a SpaceX rocket.
Jeb is awesome. He's pretty much fearless. Bill can kind of be a chicken shit a lot. Valentina's alright. Those are usually the starting three.
Oh wow,
All right.
that is.
Got
That's
research and
crazy.
Development. Get me a new rocket. Get me some new engineering stuff.
So did you just start over? Is that what I'm
Yeah, I
seeing
did. I
here?
killed poor Jebediah. I
Well,
can't.
can't you like save your progress incrementally and just go back to your previous save that you had Jebediah
It's
alive?
so early in the game. It's just honestly
Um,
easier to.
I mean, there's a learning curve that comes with all games. So if you get to a certain point, lose it all, you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I could start this over and be better than I was before when I was a noob and didn't know shit.
That's fair.
Like I played Subnautica for a little bit and then got to a point where I realized that I'd fucked myself and then didn't go back, but like I would start over. I would not go back to that save file, so.
I should have gone on to the Aurora before it exploded. Yeah, I've been there.
Well, I was about to say, well, you can do the Aurora either before or after the explosion, just depends on. There's really no difference, at least in my opinion, when it comes to that particular part of Subnautica. So, have any of you guys tried out below
Below zero.
below zero yet?
Not
I
yet.
tried below zero.
I did. It was great. Loved it.
There's plenty of room under my desk if anybody wants to try below zero.
Kosen, what was your favorite part about blowing zero?
Well, it's only an acorn, so I didn't have to do much work, and he's
Nope.
kind of a quick shooter.
Yep.
Well, at least his diet is okay, so.
Having sex with you would be the worst mistake of my life. Yes, but it wouldn't be terribly time-consuming.
Okay, let's try this one more time.
What, the blowing part?
There's the giant fucking scorched earth underneath the pod. So, what did you do to improve the...
I
rocket?
changed the staging.
Okay. So you're basically just trying to shoot this tiny little pod up into space?
Essentially,
Pretty much.
yes.
Well, the start of the Kerbal Space Program campaign career mode kind of starts you from scratch with the space agency. Like your first missions are like launch a rocket 1,000 feet into the air. Congratulations. Launch a rocket out of the atmosphere. Congratulations. Launch something into orbit. Like it kind of steps you through in that sense.
Yeah.
I think your parachute.
Yeah,
got
like
deployed.
the early
It did.
missions are.
The early missions are easy.
Well, they're things that you can kind of burn through real quick. So, like he was saying, restarting isn't going to hurt you too much.
Need to control the descent of that pod there, Zero.
I think there might be something wrong with the parachute. I think Jedediah has realized that there could potentially be something wrong with the parachute.
No, he's wildly oblivious if you just look at him.
That's true. Looking at Jebediah there, he looks like he got stoned before he went on board.
Jeb is perpetually happy. He is perpetually thrilled with whatever's going on. That's just Jeb. That's just who he is. That's why he is the Kerbal astronaut. He is the first person in space for Kerbal Space Program.
He is absolutely our best and brightest, and he is currently plummeting to the Earth at a speed of about 100 meters per second.
Hey, if anybody can figure it out, it's Jeb.
It's currently 175, 180. The parachute will catch. The parachute will catch here any second now.
Oh, wants to take bets on
Oh no! Here it comes. It's gonna catch right now.
It's fine.
Now.
Everything's good. Yeah, there it goes.
Oh God,
Up.
now.
See?
Now.
There we go. See?
There
We've
we
done
go.
it. We've done it. We caught it.
Whew.
Yep, he's
We're
good.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, it caught 300 meters from the ground. We've slowed down to 7.6 meters per second falling.
And
That's it. You gotta wait for the atmospheric drag to slow your descent enough for the parachutes to be able to handle it. That's just proper procedure.
yeah, absolutely. And also the deceleration there took place over the course of approximately 3 seconds. So Jed no longer has a functioning spine. But he's good. He looks happy. He's hungry.
He's going to persevere.
And there's a crowd of lady Kerbals, or whatever their opposite gender is called, outside just waiting for him with roses, panties, offers of kisses, and
Blowies.
ham.
And ham.
Yeah, I was gonna say ham. Delicious ham. It's a tradition for Kerbals to display romantic interest through the gifting of ham.
Are we gonna do this now? Are we gonna play yes and with the Kerbal race and determine like what kind of stuff that they do with their society?
Oh
My
God.
entire philosophy of this podcast is yes and.
I assumed that as much in general. Yes and is my favorite.
Oh, Christ. Okay. Well, and wrap the podcast up. GG's, everybody. We'll be back same time, same next week. All the rest of that. Are we saying penis or balls?
I was going to resume with the fuck Putin, but you know,
Fuck
that's
Putin.
me.
You know, fuck Putin's good.
Yeah, I like that one. Fuck Putin.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Right on.
Penis.